midterm finals had just ended when I got there. And so in order to incorporate the students in the best way, we did it when they were free. When I first got there, I asked Tim how many students would be coming, and he said, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10. And I was a little disappointed by that because, they have maybe 100 students. And I was hoping for, numbers mean success, right? So I asked him why so few. And it turns out that one of the ABU grads had recently moved to about 3 hours away, a place called Jinja. It's where the headwaters of the Nile is. And it's a very Muslim concentrated area. It's where the fishermen live. And he had moved there to start a church, and they had burned his house down. And he was being persecuted there. And so these people at the end of their finals week, instead of going on vacation or going home or just hanging around and playing soccer, they had organized a child evangelism mission for that weekend. And so without any faculty involvement, the students had just put themselves together to go minister to the children there and the women of that area. And so that's where a lot of the students were while I was there. And that challenged me in a lot of ways to think, back when I was in school, when I was done with my finals, I was not thinking about spreading the gospel. I was thinking about myself. And I still do that. When I get some free time and I get some time off that's out of my routine, it really challenged me to focus on what my priority is and what I do with my time. Because that's not where my heart always is, to be quite honest. And so I was encouraged that that's the kind of student that they have. That's the kind of heart that they have for the gospel, and that's what they choose to do with their time off. The second story that I want to share with you is about a guy named Ramadan. Like I said, success is often measured in numbers, and what I'd like to do is come back here and tell you, we saw about 450 patients while I was there, which is a lot for a day. And I'd like to tell you, we did this evangelism, and we had 75 people come to Christ. That would be sort of my idea of success. But the reality is different. And to my knowledge, no one came to Christ that day. And it's easy to think that God did not bless our efforts because of that, because we can't see the result. So I want to tell you about a guy I met on the way back to campus from the clinic. His name is Ramadan, and so obviously he grew up in a Muslim family. And I asked him, we just got to chatting, and I asked him how he came to know Christ. And he told me that it was a process that took about 5 years, and his sister was living in Kampala, and she preached the gospel to him at the end of this 5-year journey that God had taken him on, and that's when he was converted. And I asked him, well, how did it start? He said, well, my family grew up in a Muslim community. We were north of Kampala, several hours, and a missionary came to our village one day, kind of out of the blue, and had a camp, and had a day where he evangelized the people. And I don't know who he was or where he came from, but he came and shared the gospel, and that planted the seed in my heart that day that 5 years later grew to fruit in his eventual conversion. And that really impacted me, because while I can't see the fruit right now, the gospel does not return void. And so I want to encourage you, and I want to thank you for your support, both in prayer and financially, in helping me to go over there. Not because medically what we did was anything, but because it shared the gospel with people and planted seeds in the lives of the people that were there. And I want to leave you with a verse. I think my time is up. I apologize. This is why we support ABU, and I just want to sort of remind everybody of. It's easy to lose connection with our missionaries, and we get their newsletters and read them if we have time. But I just want to read this to you. How then will they call upon whom they have not believed, and how are they to believe in him of whom they have never heard, and how are they to hear without someone preaching? And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news. When we're supporting the people at ABU, and we're supporting our missionaries there, this is what they're doing. They're creating disciples, they're creating preachers, and they're sending the gospel forth. And it's not just here in America, but it's throughout the world. So thank you for supporting me, and thank you more so for supporting them through me. it was my privilege and honor to be able to go. And I see you as a huge part of that. So thank you all.